Cancer, welcome to your intimate tarot reading. I hope you are well. I hope you are fabulous. If you're new to the channel and you'd like to know why I read intimate tarot, specifically sexual energy, it will be outlined for you in the description box. Heads up. If you are someone who is indeed sensitive around the topics of sexual energy, sexual identification, sexual descriptions, go ahead, feel free to pass this one up. It's not for you. I'm not offended. No big deal. I'll see you in a couple weeks or for your Sunday shuffle. I don't want you to watch anything that would come into conflict with you because you will take nothing from it, perhaps other than frustration, anger, or even disgust. Don't ever watch anything that runs contrary to who you are. That includes any and all tarot types, yeah? There you go. I myself, personally, I understand, believe, and know sexual energy is part of who we are as individuals, thus it stands to reason that it's going to affect our relationship in some way, and I operate from the philosophy of the more you know. You know? That's it, really. That's all. And intimate tarot, sexual energy, as we know, can go to some very sensitive places. So while it is a popular reading type for this channel, and I'm thankful for that, you know, a lot of people think it's about happy, fun, sexy times, and it can be. It can be. Well, 100%. But it can also be, this is what's really going on. It can get very serious, as you know. And I know you respect. But still, just in case, basic rules apply for those sensitivity reasons. Take what resonates, leave it does not, reverse energies as it applies. Cheers. On that note, my vocal cords are still recovering. I had my annual bout of summer hay fever. Oh boy. And it almost always takes over my vocal cords every single time. I recorded the earth signs yesterday, so this is a huge improvement. Huge. I mean, my voice was in and out, honey. Those poor earth signs. Oh goodness me, they had to get sassy at not my best. But so my point is, if you hear my vocals dip, crack, clearing my throat, have some patience for me. And I know what you're saying, honey. Christina, I just thought you take a drink of your espresso. Don't you know that caffeine will make your vocal cords even more dry? I know. But also I still drink it. So, honey, I have a very unique, profound relationship with coffee in that if I don't have it, something bad happens. That's not the addiction talking. Show me that Cancerian sexual energy, please. But thank you. I appreciate your concern. I know you. It was going to be the first thing you said. I felt your fingers, okay, on the keyboard. You're about to tell me what was up. And I'm like, I know. I know, Cancer. I know. Show me that Cancerian sexual energy. Show me that Cancerian sexual energy. Show me that Cancerian sexual energy, please. What's going on for Cancer? Show me that Cancerian sexual energy, please. What's going on? Show me that Cancerian sexual energy. What's going on, please? I had this fantastic comment on one of the air sign messages. I want to say it was Aquarius's last week. Somebody just wandered in. You could tell they were newbie, honey. I can always tell when they're new and they're not used to me or the channel or anything real or having a personality. It's always obvious. They said, it's sad. Tarot's become a burlesque show because, God forbid, I showed some cleavage, right? I laughed so hard. Oh, honey, if I did burlesque, I'd be making a hell of a lot more money than I do. And I make decent money. It's not a complaint, but I'm saying if I did burlesque, honey, I would be on OnlyFans so fast, I would kill it. And a little bit of cleavage. And it's like, oh. You know, it's like, oh, honey. You could really do with dialing down your sense of preciousness there. I don't know why I'm bringing that up, but I don't know. I feel like I can tell you these things. So that can't talk about sexual energy. I'm very comfortable, as I'm sure you've picked up, with my sense of self, my delivery, my style. This is just who I am. So, I mean, being comfortable in your own sexual energy is a good thing. Self-expression is part of your sexual energy, right? Oh my God. It's like, honey, if I did burlesque, though. Let me tell you. And I like burlesque. I used to watch burlesque shows all the time back in the double aughts. Oh God, I sound so old. But yeah, no, I used to watch burlesque. I admire it. It's all the best art forms in one place. The human body, dance, display with costume work, artistry, background, music. It's just a beautiful, overwhelming sense of art and formation and feeling. Is beautiful. Actually, I highly admire burlesque. I've met many artists over the years who practice burlesque. I've seen their shows. It's beautiful. So I'm not knocking burlesque at all, let me tell you. I don't know why I'm telling you all this, honey. I ramble. I don't know why I'm telling you all that. I guess my point is, be comfortable with you. Show me that Cancerian sexual energy, please. What's going on? Okay, justice. 3 of Wands. Your sexual energy is kind of like, I need justice. I'm waiting on it. Your sexual energy, why does it feel like it's waiting? Waiting for the right formula? Waiting for that right sense of balance? What is that? It's interesting. It's different. You might have some Libra in your chart. Could be connecting with. It's not the point. What is this? What is this waiting? What is this? For their sexual energy to feel right, to feel correct? If so, what are the conditions for you waiting? We'll see. It's very curious. 7 of Wands, the Knights of Cups. Oh, waiting for this person to feel more in it. To feel more in the mood. Are you connected to someone who always kind of has a headache? Well, I'm not trying to knock that. It's just, your energy's over here. I'm waiting for the time to be right. It's fair. I can't make you any more in the mood. So I'll wait. You're literally waiting on a Libra, some of you, for them to be more generous with their sexual energy. I'm not a huge fan of waiting. Now, it's one thing to have hope, reasonable hope on the horizons, expectations. But if you just feel like you're there waiting, somebody's sexual energy to show up to be fair with you, I don't know about that. That automatically sounds not fair to me, but I don't want to get ahead of it. That puts me in a weird, that disjoints me a little bit. And I got 7 of Wands, the Knight of Cups. Now, they're saying the Knights are responsible for delivering their emotional expression outside of us. So you equate this person with expressing themselves romantically, okay, from the heart. I'm assuming their sex is in there too, but it's kind of disjointed with the 7 of Wands. Sometimes it's on, sometimes it's off. It's a little blocked. They might have certain conditions about, quote unquote, needing to feel it before they can get in it. Okay. It's a very simple delivery, but you're showing me such a huge sense of justice, of having to wait. Shared. Good. Okay. Oh, by the way, I modified the board. I have now included a placement for shared or new. Shared. So when you two do come together, physically it feels very good. It feels very warm. It feels very loving. Okay. That's great. And I did away with the past. I just don't see the point. Sexual tarot, I'm more interested about where you are now and where you're going to be. Over the next several months, 4 of Swords, restorative, 6 of Pentacles. Things seem well for Cups, but we're emotionally disappointed. Okay, we're a little somebody here is disappointed. It's you or them, somebody here is. If they're emotionally disappointed, then that means they're sexually disappointed. On the surface energy here, all is calm, all is well, all is balanced. 4 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles. That's relaxed, non-pressure, day-to-day, workable energy, right? Maybe not the most thrilling in terms of sex. But it's there, and it's consistent, and there's no stress attached to it. Not that I can see. It's like all is calm and quiet in the neighborhood, right? Clearly, you don't live where I do. It's weird. I'm knee-deep in the suburbs. You wouldn't know it. You know it. Sometimes it's like a circus act out there. But it's like 4 Cups. Somebody here is emotionally upset, and I'm assuming sexually dissatisfied. Let's see the blockages here. 7 of Cups. That's interesting. Not really knowing how someone feels. Never quite in the mood. Someone's feelings are always a little fuzzy or all over the place or poorly defined. Outcome, 6 of Swords. Leaving that, something's being left behind. Gently. It's with a sort of mental resignation. There's something here we want to transition out of. I don't know if it's the whole relationship in and of itself, but there's something here like, this will not do. I gotta leave this behind. Modify it, change the scene, change the pace. I don't know what, because for some of you, or your person, they act like they're not stressed out, but they are. But there's not a lot of weight in the sexual energy here, but there is, and that's for some of you. I happened to notice the underlying there. Lord, here we go. Okay. Excuse me. It does not help that I have allergy-induced asthma. I don't have real asthma. I have, well, it is real, but full-time asthma. Asthmatic, I'm allergy asthmatic. So it's interesting because one day I'll be breathing, all is well, full lungs, and then the next day, depending on how much pollen's in the air, I can't breathe. So, with hay fever, how I breathe can get really interesting. Okay, show me justice, please. Yes, I have an inhaler. Show me justice, please. I try not to use it too often. Show me justice, please. 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 Show me justice, please, in Cancer's sexual energy. Six of Wands, Four of Swords, Seven of Swords. Oh, that piece that I'm seeing down here on your bottom line, that things have a certain flow, part of that in you feels like it's a pretense, okay? That it's not actually true. Some of you feel like you don't feel sexually restored at all. Like the energy here, it feels good, but when it happens, okay, I'm seeing some flash of energy here that suggests sexuality, that suggests positive sexuality. But for the most part, someone here does not feel like they have met their fill. Like I said, I don't like that. I didn't like the waiting and the justice thing for your sexual energy. You have this permission surrounding you that says I have to wait or I'm subject to waiting. You look at them to kind of tell you when the time is right. And so when it is right, whenever the sexual energy is right, it feels good. It feels triumphant with the Six of Wands. It's like, yay, my person is recognizing me sexually and trying to meet my needs sexually. That feels good. They're flirting with me. They're paying me that extra kind of special attention. It's flirtatious. The Six of Wands is light. It's flirtatious. It's, yay, my person's looking at me. That's why I put on my special outfit. It was kind of like that, you know? They touch you a certain way or look at it and they give you the look and it's like, oh, it's on. It's on. Today's the day. Today's the day. It's on today. They gave me the special look today, or it's the calendar, right? That's our day. That's our day right there on the week. Whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, you have moments where you know you feel good. And that's when the permission's on. But all is not well in between those moments. We have this idea here, the pretense, that the sexual energy between us is restorative and healing, but it doesn't happen very often with the Seven of Swords attached to it. We have the theory that our sex with our person makes us feel good and whole and restorative, and I completely agree with this. Sexual energy, when you're bonded with somebody correctly, should feel healing, okay, in nature. It should be soothing. It's a form of support, love, care, and attention like anything else. Sex is just but another form of love language in the right context with the right person. Otherwise, it can just be straight up sex, which I'm not a huge fan of. But then again, I'm not someone who has that without emotional attachment behind it, you know, or trust. So it sometimes feels like you can't always trust your person to be in sync with you, sexually speaking, or in a consistent mood. See what I'm saying? You don't like to think about it too much, because when it does happen, it does feel good, right? It's like they're giving me that extra special attention today. They're making me feel good today. I think the other person probably doesn't see it that way as in terms of restorative, you know. It's coming across more like I have to be in the mood, and I understand that. But perhaps they're not interpreting it as something that should be healing between two people, you know. Let's see. I don't like that you are waiting for this idea of that they have to be in the mood or the timing has to be right, because you're giving it a lot of importance there with justice. And I don't like that you feel like you're in the position of waiting. That personally makes me uncomfortable. I'm just saying that tells me the two sexual energies here are not on the same page as much as perhaps they'd like to be. Because it doesn't feel organic. I'm all about the organic. It either fits in the flow and you're more excited to be in that flow with your person more often than not, rather than less. The camera's going crazy right now. Okay. I don't know why. It was doing fine up until now. Summon that 3 of Wands, please. Summon that 3 of Wands, summon that 3 of Wands. So if you feel slight misgivings when it comes to your sexual energy with your person, I can see why. Summon that 3 of Wands, please. Summon that 3 of Wands. It's like you're waiting for the next encounter. It's like, oh, hopefully today's the day where they're in the mood. I don't know. Summon that 3 of Wands, please. Summon that 3 of Wands. Could be they see you this way, but I'm the one that sees you on standby in accordance to their energetic wishes. That's why I'm not a huge fan of that. The Lovers, 8 of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles. Who's that? Who is that? Hold on. Show me that 7 of Wands, please. Show me that 7 of Wands, please. Show me that 7 of Wands. Show me that 7 of Wands. Show me that 7 of Wands, please. Let's see that Knight of Cups. I have... You've been throwing me curveballs lately. Here's another one. I have 2 people surrounding you. They're completely different from each other. Completely different. One is kind of withholding, and your sexual kind of interchange or intercourse with... Not intercourse like as in literal intercourse, but you see what I'm saying. It's kind of dry. It's not on point. Someone's a little too analytical. They're in their head all the time. They're not exactly connected to their heart or their sex. It's cold, it's detached, and it's defensive with the 7 of Wands. It's not very giving, it's not very generous, it's not very yielding, and it doesn't really seem to give you much consideration as much as you should like. In turn, heavy air energy here, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, does not have to be. But it doesn't seem to give you as much consideration in terms of meeting your physical needs. And it's kind of withholding. It is kind of... It does put you in a position of waiting. They don't seem to view sexuality the same way you do. It's kind of like it's when I feel it is when I feel it is when it's on, and when it's not, it's not. You know, it's a little withholding. They're not as emotionally connected to their sex, is my point. And that happens. Some people really do experience sex as just a mechanical thing, as a pleasure indulgence. It's not really a true identification of a bond. I disagree, but that's me. I'm water-oriented. I'm an Ace of Cups. To me, sex is pointless without love, and somebody's like, love has nothing to do with it. Sex is sex. It's just something that you do with a person that you trust. And that's kind of like, I'm not saying that's completely them, but they don't seem to make the connection that sex and feelings are meant to be exchanged. Okay. They don't seem to experience it the same way you do. So I don't know why they're coming up in your field. They don't seem to be a match for you. You understand? And then I got someone else who says they're very much a match for you. And I don't know who the hell they are in your life except they're a lover. And they have no such problems when it comes to you. They are emotionally expressive towards you, or at least they were. I can't tell. The towers here, Scorpio energy. Something here blew up the dynamic where you used to connect with this person. And they wanted you like crazy. They had no such reservations. they were very much able and willing. I don't know how far it went. I can't see it. I have no fucking idea what the timeline is. I just see them in your field as two opposing, completely different energies. One that's kind of cold and distant. They don't associate sex with healing or even much of the heart space. It's just kind of like something that we agree to do sometimes. It's not that big a deal. They say they can give or take it. They're not emotionally connected to it. 8 of Cups, 2 of Pentacles. They don't commit to the emotional connectivity of sex. In fact, they're up here a lot of the times. King of Swords, Justice. That's a lot of cold. It either is or it isn't. It's not something I personally would gravitate towards. I'd want somebody to be there emotionally in there with me, because that's the best kind of sex, is when it's so intimate, it gets weird. That's me though. I'm Scorpio. We like weird entanglements and emotionality and intense sex. So I don't quite understand the detachment there. I just know you feel it to some extent. That's not satisfying, and it doesn't soothe you as much as you would like it to. In other words, you don't find the sex with this person to be restorative. But it's kind of like, hey man, it's their call. Okay. I mean, you can't force someone. You shouldn't. You're not supposed to. You can't make someone feel sexual activity that they don't have. But again, it's not about who does what when, and it's not about the quantity. It's about your connection to sex. That's important, and that's what matching energies is about. How you perceive and want and desire sexual experience with this person versus what you had or could have with this other person are two different experiences. One is extremely connected. The other one is like, I could give or take it. I don't put that much stock in it. I don't put that much emotional stuff. You might even heard them say that. Sex just doesn't mean that to me. It's not a big deal. I'm not emotionally tied to it. And again, just because it doesn't make sense to me doesn't mean it doesn't make a lot of sense to someone else. There's nothing right or wrong with it. It's just, are you compatible to it? Are you compatible to that? And then that solves all the questions right there. If you're compatible to that, if you agree with that, then cool. I shouldn't be seeing any tension here. The thing is, the Cancer I'm looking at, that's not actually who you are, but I feel like that's what you feel you forced yourself to agree to. Because part of you is sneaking suspicion, the 7 of Swords, this kind of is what it is, and I kind of have to accept sex on this person's terms, and I have to, that's what I'm going along with. And then I have another, how did you fit this, honey, okay, look, how did you fit these two, how did you do this? How did you fit? I didn't leave any room. I tried not to leave any room for anything other than 2 people. And now you got, only you would do this. Only you would find a way to put another person in there. Just like real quick, Christina, just do like an energetic check on that person. Just for me, because of you. Just for me, could you do that real quick? Could you check on this person for me real quick? Then I have somebody else who's connected to you in a very spiritual way, a very emotional way, a very sexual way that brings out some very strong, masculine, sensual aspects from you. It pulls it out of you. And you're like, now this feels good. And it does, because the King, Queen of Pentacles are all about that sensuality. They say, this is what feeds my body. This is what makes me feel good. This is what I can touch, taste, see, feel, etc. I ain't waiting for shit. I ain't waiting for nobody. I can fulfill my needs with this person because they feel right in every conceivable way. I have every reason to interpret whoever this lover is, as an earth sign, but it's not. It's coming from you. Don't ask me how I know that. That's just my job. That's just how I know. And your energy looks outwards towards them. It yearns for them. It longs for them. But it's distant. I don't know if this person's 5,000 miles away from you, and you're like, this is what I have to work with over here. I'm sorry. I'm not. I don't mean that as a disrespect. They experience sex how they experience sex. And you saying this is what I have to work with, or this is what as good as it gets. I disagree, because your energy just immediately proved that theory false. It is not as good as it gets. So I don't know what that distance is. Again, it literally could be miles. I don't know how far away you are from your lover. I don't know. I know at some point you used to connect. I don't know what the timeline is. I'm not looking at the past. It did connect. I see this person represents 9 of Pentacles, sense of independence, freedom, individuation, single. I know who I am. I know what I'm about. And I'm proud of it. 3 of Cups. They used to connect with you emotionally so easily with the Knight of Cups. They expressed themselves to you, or you expressed yourselves to them easily, fluidly. It felt good, perhaps a little shy, but it was sweet. It was natural. It had a flow to it. And then boom, it blew up one day, the tower. And that person is your lover. That's the person who you want to make physical contact with. That is the person who you know you can be sensual with, that you can give your whole body to, or you feel that you could, or you did, or you used to. I don't know what their context is. I just know that they seem far away from you now. So I had to clarify multiple points, so I was like, wait a minute. Before I jump into a third energy, let me just make sure I understand what I'm seeing. So that's why I clarified. On camera, that was lifetime, me working shit out right there, right then, because I was like, I don't have time to interpret this. I need to see it first. So that's what that was. Somehow you managed, okay, to get two completely different energy checks in here. So if you wanted confirmation about what you were experiencing, that you're not crazy, that this is what, yeah, that's who I'm talking to today, Cancer. As far as I can tell, this is what's going on for you. I would tell you, I love you to pieces, honey, but sometimes you absolutely exhaust me. I don't want to tell you. I'm sorry. But whoever this lover is to you, of course, I'm sure you've heard me say it, so I'll just reiterate it, okay? The lover is a multi-layered bonding system. It is mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual, it's physical, it's sexual. And it can be our most rewarding connection or our most challenging one. It's usually a little bit of both. In order to earn a reward, we have to be challenged to change, to grow, okay? And understand ourselves, okay? And what is good for us, how we react to it, what we're choosing and why, and what it is we're experiencing, and is it right for us, what we're choosing and why. It's very confrontational. So the fact that I'm seeing two opposing energies that are completely different, and I mean oppositional, they're so different on polarities. I got one person on the extreme end of cold detachment. I don't know if they're actually cold in real life, but I'm saying how they view sex as cold. It doesn't mean much to them. There's no emotional investment in it. They don't see it as healing and restorative. And when they say it's on, it's on. It's almost recreational for them. It's like, yeah, if we get off, that's nice, but it doesn't mean anything to me, so I can go long stretches without. To someone who's like, I'm deeply sensual. I very much believe in upper realm sexual spirituality, and I would like to intertwine that with you. I'd like to get all up in there with you. And your reaction is, I would too. Except you two are like this. So the person you seem to be most sexually and I would dare say emotionally and spiritually compatible with is the one that you're the furthest from. That was 27 minutes. Jesus. Okay, that was 27 minutes. Keep on keeping on. So if this isn't you, if you're already confused, it's not yours. Don't worry about it. No stress. No stress. No stress, honey. It's not for you. Don't worry about it. So that will explain your Seven of Cups in the challenge position. Okay. Okay. Options in love is in the challenge. Who to choose? Is there a choice? If so, what have I already chosen? What have I invested myself in? What have I gotten my hand into? Okay. Okay. I'm on the trail now. Okay. 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 It's a good thing I'm wearing my best hiking boots. All right. Let's see the sun. I guess. Whoo. That's what it is. That's what it is. There is warmth from whoever represents the most water. King of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Doesn't have to be that literal, but that's a hell of a lot of water. King of Cups and the Ten of Cups. We have a lot of heartbreak associated with this energy. The one that has the very strongest emotional attachment. The one who's on the other end of the polarity. The one who's very emotionally aware. We feel the strength of the sun with this person. The sun is the happiest card in tarot, as we know. Is in sexual energy means the highest of the warmth that you could possibly achieve with somebody in terms of the warmth of their energy, their sexual energy, the warmth of their body, that is generous and giving. Okay, it leaves you in no question about how you feel or what it is the other person feels. It just radiates from that person, sexually speaking, and it's also tied to this person's heart. They're saying that they're heartbroken. Somebody here is heartbroken because what they feel for you or what you feel for them was very real. It was very generous, and I'm assuming that this is the lover dynamic. You either had huge feelings for this person and it broke your heart in some way, and that's where you experienced your most emotional and sexual generosity, or they for you. Okay, it's coming down to a singular person and how they felt about their lover. They said they felt emotionally comfortable with you, had a fullness of heart for you, in love with you. And they felt their sexual energy naturally radiate towards you. I feel like it's headed towards you, but it could be the other way around. This is why it's hard enough, honey, reading one energy. Never mind two. Never mind three. I have to say, though, even though we're at a distance from this person, they're your strongest match. I don't know if that helps you or hurts you. You either want that or you don't, or your reaction to them, I knew it was you, it was the King of Pentacles. You don't feel like you have to wait for that energy at all. It makes you feel extremely strong. Over here, you're reduced to a 4 swords and a 7 of swords, and maybe it's on today, maybe it's not. I don't know when you stop connecting with them. Heavy Scorpio energy here again, like I said, also Earth, but I'm seeing that coming from you. And then I see the air sign, possibly an air sign. I don't want to get caught up in that, but as the other polarity. And it blew up. But man, when they connected with you, they connected with you hard, and you had an equally strong response. And your energy, 3 of Wands, looks outwards towards them. It seeks them out because it wants its true companion. I'm sorry, but it wants its true companion. What happened between you two, what went down, perhaps you two are at a distance and it was just too damn hard. I understand. I don't know who is connected to who or what. I don't know if this was... I don't know what this is. I don't know why you're showing me to. I can't tell what the commitment is in either direction. I don't know if there's marriage here. I don't know if it's an on-again, off-again relationship. I don't know if you picked up one relationship because your other one dropped. I don't know. You fill it in as best you can. It's not here in the damn cards. Maybe I'll see it somewhere along the line, but don't be yelling at me. What do you mean who's who? You lived it or you didn't. There's either marriage here, girlfriend, boyfriend here, or there isn't. I actually cannot legitimately see the relationship structure to either person, except how they affect you at the energetic level, spiritual level, where the shit counts. Okay. I'm not trying to give you a hard time, honey, but look what you threw at me today. What do you think was going to happen? Okay. Just show me the... I'm doing the best that I can. I am doing the level best that I can today, honey. I didn't know it was going to be all this. Show me that 4 of Swords. I mean, I kind of do, though, to be honest with you, because haven't I been seeing duality? Yes. For a couple of reads now, haven't I? I think I kind of remember that on your Sunday Shuffle. I think your last one. Okay. Page of Swords, 3 of Wands. Heavy Scorpio energy here today. Heavy. 3 times now. All in conjunction with the lover, the one that's distant from you. The 4 of Swords. Oh, the way you have that 4 swords with this person, their sexual energy, that it's not restorative, you strongly suspect it could be with this person, that they've used sexuality appropriately in a healthy way. This is the one you still long for. Your energy points at them. It's not an accusation, so don't take it as one. I see it all the time, and I told that to Scorpio not too long ago in their Sunday Shuffle. I saw their sexual energy pointing at someone who was their lover. And it's like, I want them, but I'm at a distance from them. And you're showing me something similar, so don't take it as an accusation. If Scorpio didn't take it as one, neither should you. Okay? This is what I'm seeing today. I already saw you do the 3 of Wands pointing at your lover who is at this person. We still desire them, and we would actually like to restore with them, sexually or otherwise. It's obviously beyond that at this point, but it feels like the impossible task, or that it won't transform. So we still desire to point our energy at this person. We still long for them. Sometimes we have an eye on them, okay? And, but it's kind of like, what's the point? It's over. I did see that blow up over here with the tower. Their energy towards you was very fluid, open, honest with you, as far as I can tell. They came to you of their own free will. I know that. They connected with you of their own free will. They expressed their emotions and their sex to you of their own free will. That's someone who doesn't... They say, this is me. 9 of Pentacles, this is me. They had a Knight of Cups towards you. Lovers, and you look at, and your energy still points to them. It still longs for them. and that's okay. Just take it from me, it's okay. You're human. You can't have a strong kind of connection like that and not feel it and long for it. It's the lovers, baby. You're always going to be connected to it. Emotionally, spiritually, okay. Sometimes we get to keep it, sometimes we don't. It just depends if those two people can overcome their challenges and rise to what's in the best for them and not what's against them. You know? Let's see that Six of Pentacles. Things are carrying on in a certain way. Man, that person, I tell you what, whoever that is, they're crazy about you. But you already knew that. They have this thing about kissing you. They have this thing about, I can give you some insight, or I don't know if this helps you, but they had the very strong desire to kiss you like crazy. They either attribute you to being a phenomenal kisser, they love your mouth, they love your lips, or they just, they had what looks like almost like a fixation to kiss you. Like, they would just stare at you or your mouth and be like, I want to kiss that person. Like a lot. King of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, the Four of Wands. Okay. We are still trying to show dedication. Now I have a Four of Wands here. So yeah, somebody here's in a relationship. I see that as being you, maintaining what looks like a day-to-day balance with your person. Okay. You still show it love and support. You're saying it's deeply rooted. It hasn't grown so much in passion in a long time, but you're saying, you know, I'm still in it. Okay. I don't know, that Four of Wands isn't necessarily marriage. It's whatever you understand constitutes a relationship that you tell me is pre-existing, and it has been for some time with the Seven of Pentacles, and that you keep a balance with it on the day-to-day, Six of Pentacles, that you still feel a certain warmth and care towards it. What your feelings are, I don't know, but you say you still feel warm, and that you still have to, and that you want to give to this, even if the sexual energy is not that great or very responsive or generous. You say you still care about it. So you're going to continue to give yourself to it. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah, let's switch. Let's see that Four of Cups. However, there's still emotional and sexual disappointment here. So I understand that you are keeping your balances. Let me see this Four of Cups, please. Show me this Four of Cups, please. Show me this Four of Cups. Show me this Four of Cups. It's interesting because that shared energy is so very strong. And it's not new. You know who they are. But they are in pain. They said that they could not emotionally harmonize with you. Sex had nothing to do with it, if that helps. It was about the heart space, something that they could not emotionally harmonize with you as much as they loved you. They wanted to. It actually had nothing to do with sex. It had everything to do with, it seems like, the matters of the heart. Oh yeah, they absolutely had the energy for you, don't get me wrong. But they put their heart forward first. It's something to do if I can't harmonize with you, then I can't have the warmth with you, something like that. Okay. So I don't know what your history with this lover is. Okay. I just know that you two still kind of point at each other. And there you go. Seven of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, that slow. Okay, this is where the frustration is. While you're showing me Seven of Pentacles not once but twice. It's reflecting back on this relationship, possibly marriage, some sort of structure that you two have agreed upon. And that's with this, one of the polarities that's more on the air side, a little more cold or a little more detached. I'm not saying they're cold, I'm saying the detachment. They don't put the same value in sexuality and even emotionality as you do. Okay. That Seven of Pentacles, slow growing, the stagnation's there. You still care about it. I see that. The King of Wands cares. Okay. But you're also saying, I'm used to... I'm trying to say this without sounding like an asshole. It's just, you're saying you're kind of used to the disappointment of it. You hold on to it, stubbornly so. You care about it, but you're like, at this point in my life and the connection with this person, I'm kind of used to the disappointment. Sexually and otherwise. Don't get me wrong. You still do what you need to do. You fulfill your side of the obligations, whatever that is. Pay the bills, support the family. I don't know. You say you're used to it. Okay? It's well established. It may not be a 10 of Pentacles. It may not be a 9. It may not be an 8. But it's mine. It's here. It's steady. 6 and 7. Then, yeah, 6 and 7. 67 for some of you. I don't know what that means. Some of you, perhaps it's a Leo. Despite the heavy air energy. Doesn't matter. I don't want to get wrapped up in that. Yeah, you say you're kind of used to it. You're used to being kind of blocked sexually. But you're also used to holding on or holding out. It's just the kind of rhythm that you two are in or fell into. You're not over the moon about it. You're not. It's disappointing. It's frustrating. Sometimes it's depressing. Yeah. But you're also saying you're used to it. You don't care about its structure any less. You've kind of committed to maintaining that structure. Okay? Because you care about it. King of Wands cares. But you personally are not satisfied with it. No. Your emotional, it looks like physical needs are not met very well. I wish they put a little bit more care into you as you do into it. That would be my personal wish for you. That's all. All right, 7 of Cups, please, and the obstacles. 7 of Cups, please. Show me that 7 of Cups. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to call that. Polarity 1, Polarity 2. I don't want to assume it's an air sign, and I don't want to assume it's a water sign, but the opposition is so far apart. It goes back to the elemental difference between something that's intelligent, sharp, flows fast, air, but also cold, cutting, to the point. More logical, analytical, whereas water is much warmer. It has a certain flow to it that says emotional expression is easy. So it's kind of dividing up to me between air and water there. That's why. Show me that 7 of Cups, please. And you are showing me a damn strong dash of earth, which makes me suspect, of course, you have very strong earth in your chart. Cancer may not be your sun sign. Or if it is, you got a hell of a lot of earth in there somewhere. Show me that 7 of Cups, please. Show me that 7 of Cups. Show me that 7 of Cups. Show me that 7 of Cups. In the challenges, options in love, not knowing how you feel. I don't know. 7 of Swords, the 2 of Pentacles, the King of Wands. You're saying you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do about how you feel. Your King of Wands is still there. You still have personal passion. You don't disregard it, and you don't think of your passion as this offhand gesture like whomever this does. Again, they don't put much stock in it or faith in it. And there's nothing wrong with it. Again, just because I don't understand that doesn't mean it doesn't make sense to someone else. Okay. Your passion is still of value to you as the King of Wands. I feel like you're masculine. I just do. You keep coming up as king, and that's when your stronger energy comes forward. You're saying you don't know what to do about that 7 of Swords you experience with whomever this is. You don't like to think about it, but you also don't know how to change it. Like I said, you're telling me you're used to it. You don't seem to know what your feelings are about this particular subject. It'd probably be easier if you didn't feel so much of your passion, but that's not who you are, is it? That's just not who you are. That's what I'm saying. That's why your sex points to that lover, is because they make sense to you in a different way. Big difference between I'm used to it, okay, and this speaks to me as a person, as a partner. One fulfills you, the other one you're used to. And why you're showing me such a sharp contrast, I don't know. You've already made it clear where your investment is. And it's kind of like, I don't want to throw in the passion. In other words, I don't want to throw in the towel. I haven't completely lost all my drive I agree. You haven't. I know it's not. I think you're just used to doing without it. That doesn't mean you don't have it. It's like you just forgot about that particular identity, or that particular identity doesn't get to be taken off the shelf and dusted off very much. You understand? You're saying I don't know what to do about my mixed feelings, so I'm not going to do anything. I don't know, that's up to you. Or if there's anything you can do. Will this person ever change? There's that as well, because you contemplate how it doesn't mean the same thing to them, but you keep coming up with, I don't know. Let's see that Six of Swords. I'm very curious. Show me that Six of Swords, please. Show me that Six of Swords. Show me that Six of Swords. Show me that Six of Swords, please. Show me that Six of Swords. Ooh, it's rosemary lemon chicken for tonight, honey. I know, I'm sorry, I bring up random shit, but I like to cook, you know. And I'm like, ooh, I'm thinking about dinner. I got rosemary lemon chicken. Oh yes, honey. Nice little salad on the side. Okay. We got some mushroom wild rice. Oh, hell yes. What's going on, please? Show me that Six of Swords. King of Cups, there they are again. Eight of Swords, the Two of Wands. You wonder if they've really moved on from you, that person that you're like, nah. That King of Cups pops up again. Have you really moved on from them? Have they really moved on from you? Do you think about that sometimes? Should you move towards them? Is there anything you can do? The energy still speaks to you. You have a whole lot of inconclusive, I don't know, energy. It still lingers with you, and I told you it would. You're gonna make me get some advice, huh? Let's get some advice, please. Non-conclusive is my point. There is that point in you because you said you've accepted this for what it is and not to expect any more from it, even if it disappoints you. You've kind of said you've accepted it. I don't know. I say I really don't know what it is you're getting back from it, other than the sense that it's yours and it's established and that you're comfortable with it, but you're not really. You're not really. Not where it counts. You think about them sometimes. I understand. I suppose it comes down to, honey, what do you want to see for yourself? It's kind of like you're saying, well, they moved on from me, or I moved on from this, so there's no point in thinking about it. Well, that hasn't helped you so far, has it? Seven of Wands. What else, please? Advice? Advice? Judgment. Resistance to making the decision by pretending you don't have one. Spirit thought they should point that out to you. Well, Spirit don't mince words, honey. They ain't got time for that. Five of Pentacles is in reverse. The cheeky mother. So cheeky. Even I'm like, Spirits, sometimes they really push it, honey. They're blunt. You think I'm blunt? Shit. We pretend like we don't have a decision. It would be easier, right, to act like we don't. We resist the idea of judgment. We resist the idea that we have a decision or that we have a play in our own destiny. That's false. We absolutely do. I saw it in you several times. This is the way it is. I've accepted it. Not really. Do you love this person? I see your commitment to what was already established, but that doesn't mean you're committed in your feelings towards them. All I see is disappointment. When you're saying, I'm used to it, what are you going to do about it? That's not a judgment call, honey. That's you resisting that you have choice. You resisting that you have change in your own world, your own destiny. I feel like we've had this talk before, relatively recently. And I do these as such as that it's gone as soon as I did. But even I got that lasting impression. I feel like we've had this talk before. And Five of Pentacles flew out in reverse. You could undo the break. if you chose. You are the master of your own destiny. You get to choose your breaks, and you get to choose, to some extent, to unbreak things too. For your Empress, you know, to really step into self-empowerment for yourself and what it is, or who it is you really want, what I should say, who is actually highly compatible to you, and it goes well beyond sex at this point. If you haven't picked that up by now, then that's not the Cancer I'm talking to. The Cancer I'm talking to immediately understands this dilemma and everything I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, well, I dated this guy like 3 years ago and it was super intense, but, you know, like whatever, he broke up with me 6 weeks later. I'm not talking about that shit. I'm not talking about time. I'm talking about a situation that is already pre-established but isn't satisfying, and it goes well beyond sex. A sense of emotional security, that you're in this at the emotional level, not just because you care about it, because you do care about the connection. You already have roots in it. You don't want to abandon the roots, but it doesn't exactly allow you to thrive. And there's someone here you could thrive with like that, but they seem so distant. And you even wonder, did they really leave? Do they still think about me sometimes? The answer is yes, of course they fucking do. Duh. And you can feel it, so don't give me that bullshit. I know you can feel it. I know you can feel it. You have dreams about them. They have dreams about you. You hit each other's wavelengths from time to time. Oh, 100%. All that. They bring out some very sharp aspects to you that are real and solid and valid, more so than this situation does. This situation provokes your sense of protection. I have to secure this, I have to protect it, I have to keep it going. I've resigned myself to it. It's not the same as being in love, or having, or met somebody, or having a connection that's equal or compatible to you. Completely two different instincts. King of Wands, I have to protect this, it's established, it's my responsibility. And in the King of Pentacles, I strongly desire to wish and claim this lover, because it's mine. The King of Pentacles, you know, he has his drawbacks. And depending on how you look at him, you either see him as someone who covets, this is mine, blah, or someone who says, this is mine, and I know it. Some people view him as greedy because he's very territorial. Other people find him highly attractive for that reason. All I know is that your lover here provokes the King of Pentacles, and King of Pentacles wants to claim what's his. Not because he's greedy, but because he genuinely, or she genuinely, knows who their kind of true calling mate is. So, I don't know, honey. You telling yourself you're used to it, you've accepted it. That's not the same thing as making a decision. You could come out of the break with your Empress. That's all they're telling me. It's your choice. If you want to know that they still love you, yes, it's a decision. Do they still think about me? Yes, they do. And you know it, and it's a ridiculous question. And it's whenever I make a statement and the Ace of Swords drops, that Spirit's way of saying correct. It's the truth. You already know. This is a ridiculous question. Six of Swords, do you have the potential to move on from this? Yes, otherwise I wouldn't be saying it. But the thing is you question and doubt it way too much. Okay? And you saying I don't know what to do, or there's nothing I can do except accept it, it's just reinforcing this idea that you have no control or say in the situation, your own destiny. I think they're just pointing out the obvious, honey. I'm not trying to be mean with you. I love you to pieces. But this conflict is real. I respect it. I do. And just because the answer is plain to me doesn't mean, you know, that I can speak for you or act on your behalf. I would if I could. I think all tarot readers would. You with your pinchy claws. Let me grab those real quick. Stop moving around, okay? Let me talk to you real quick. Go over there. Bye, honey. Have a good day. That's it. That's all I would do. That's all I would do. I think, like I said, most tarot readers would, but I can't make you. These things have to be realized in time, and you're not done realizing it. Do you have the opportunity to move on, and more importantly, move on to the direction that you would actually like? Yeah, that's before you, but you have to see that particular opportunity. I look down at my watch at this particular moment, and no reason, but it's approximately 3:30. And 33 is the number of empowerment, true empowerment. Some of you, 33 is your birth number. That was confirmation that you have more power than you know or acknowledge. It's double Empress energy. 33 goes beyond 32, which is life path number, but 33 says accomplishment and stepping into one's power. Completion. Completion of yourself. Anyway, yes, you have it within you to move on, but you have to know that that's a choice. That's here as well, the Two of Wands. Acting like you can't see it, or you don't know that there's anything to move towards, is false. Okay. All right. I'll just do a couple of these. I have to keep these under an hour, guys. Otherwise, I'd give you the full oracle spectrum. Yes, leaving. I know. For some of you, the 19th is important. I don't know why, but 19th for some of you is... Why am I getting 19? It's confirmation of your person. One of your persons. It's not yours. It's theirs. Whoever cried for you. They left. They're the one who blew it up. So I think it's in confirmation of your lover's reference. Or you cried for them. I'm sure you cried for each other. Lovers typically do. Even if it's very, very private. And alone in the dark. You ultimately end up crying for your lover at some point. I know. I don't say that with a sense of humor. I say that because I can't help it. Yeah, feelings. You're moving on. 5 and 12. Yeah, I know. You have feelings here. And it's moving on. You have that option here of moving on. You do. Some of you, one of your persons is Gemini or Libra. It keeps coming across very heavily, possibly Aquarius. Okay. There's deep feelings, and because of those deep feelings, we had to move on. If they weren't returned, reciprocated, or you two couldn't get on the same page, despite the enormity of what you felt. Choices were made, choices were not made. Things were expressed, things weren't expressed, so on and so forth. Somebody associates the other person with very strong beauty. Anyway, all right, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments as you see fit. We are out of time, you guys. Otherwise, I'd push a couple more oracles, but I can't. I do hope this helped you. I know it was terribly and complex. That's the cards today. So again, don't force it to fit if it's not yours. Check your placements. Okay. All right, honey. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.